Hey guys, Dr. Ken Nordberg again. A few last minute trips before hunting, in a week or so, whenever your season begins. Um, this is mainly for us northern stand hunters. We got a kind of a we have more difficulty than anyone in really cold, bitter weather staying warm. Things have changed over the years. I remember years ago when we wore wool socks, and wool socks were never very good at wicking away moisture. They didn't even talk about wicking away moisture back when I was young. And we wore leather boots or leather top packs with no insulation. We get a new pair of wool socks from grandma every year for deer hunting. But always frozen feet back in the old days. But today things are much better. The last boots I bought, hunting boots for deer hunting, are they're a lot of they're made of fabric and some leather, not a lot of leather, rubber soles. But mine have 1,000 grams of thinsulate in them, and all I have to do is wear one pair of medium thick socks, polypropylene, only polypropylene socks in those boots, and I'm comfortable the whole day. I can sit out there all day in any weather and my feet aren't ever cold. That's amazing. What a change. Now, polypropylene underwear has come along over the years. Some are blends and some are pure polypropylene. I like the pure stuff. Same with my blazer hunting shirts that I wear. But even better, for really cold weather is my jacket and my bibs that I wear in really cold weather. They're not only insulated and very warm. In fact, I hardly ever zip that jacket shut, even in cold weather. It's open in front. They're terrific, and with a nice hood on top and this insulated hood on top, and I can pull that up. No wind getting to the back of my neck. Wonderful suit. But hands, that's the problem yet today. I've tried every kind of glove, all the new innovations that have come along over the years. And my current favorite gloves are camel gloves. They're not camel blaze orange. They're camel brown. You don't have to have blaze orange on your hands. There's no law that says you have to do that. And when you get blaze orange, to a whitetail, especially when the sun's shining on it, looks glowing white, really white. And if it's moving, then boy, is it going to catch a whitetail's eye. And here comes a buck, and he's really close, and he's not looking toward you, but you're getting your gun up, and here comes that blaze orange glove up there, the two of them on the gun, and they're moving. That's not good. My favorite glove, no matter what the temperature today, some cotton gloves, brown, just like this. They're really great. And sure, it gets really cold. You couldn't possibly spend a day in the woods with gloves on like this without being really miserable about the way your fingers feel. I'll sometimes put them behind my bibs on my pants, and they're there. But even better is one of these muffs. With a glove like that on, and you get your hands in there, and you're sitting there in your tree stand, trying to be really still, and along comes a buck. Well, you can remove your hands silently from a muff like that. And you get them up, and now your hands, there's no bearskin showing. You have your camel head net on under your camel, or your camel blaze orange cap. Boy, you're just all covered. And so that dark glove isn't going to attract the attention of a buck that's not looking toward you. If you're moving very slow, your rifle coming up, or bow, whatever. To me, I think, I don't sell these things and I don't get paid. I don't even know what the brand name is on it. But you notice it's camel, brown. And it's got a belt on it. You can belted on your waist, so you don't have to be looking for it. When I'm hiking, I put it in the pack sack that's attached to my folding hunting tool. But anyway, it's easy to carry around, and then if things get really severe, you can always put a hand warmer or two inside this thing. It's got a zipper thing here. I don't know if it's for the hand warmer. I think that's where I would put my cough suppressor. You know, I made a special little YouTube presentation about one I made, and so if you haven't seen it, check back, look for that cough suppressor presentation. One you can make yourself out of a pill bottle, really easy. That would be a good place for it to keep that open, and if I felt like I was going to cough, you don't want to be zipping like this. I can just reach in there and use it. So, and no skin showing. So, anyway, you can always put some hand warmers in there. But let me tell you something about hand warmers too. I haven't used hand warmers in years. But just at the last minute, I was going by a bin and they had them a special sale on them in the store, Fleet Farm, on hand warmers in this. They're a package of 10. There they are. Now, I don't sell these either, or nobody pays me for talking about them. But maybe they won't like it when I talk about them. But they come in these plastic bags, you know, and you're supposed to keep it in the bag until you're ready to use it, because once it's exposed to air, then it starts working. Then you're supposed to shake it, you know, when you take it out of there. Well, when you're taking it out of this bag, you know how far away a buck can hear that. I used to have a semi-tame 10-point buck in Wisconsin. When he heard that, he was thinking he was going to get some M&Ms with peanuts, and he would come running. He couldn't even see he was anywhere in the woods. They're up on the top of this limestone bluff in western Wisconsin, and hear this. Oh, here he comes. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh, this is starting to warm up now. I don't know how much you have to shake him to do that. But look here. That makes noise too if you're shaking it like that. That's like saying, hey bucks, here I am, don't come this way. So, you know what we do in camp, I don't know how long that lasts when you're out in the woods. It's a good sized one, it probably lasts quite a while, several hours. What we do in our camp, if you're going to use hand warmers in the woods while you're hunting, we get them out in camp, do the shaking in camp. And then, so you don't make any of that extra noise. But even then, you've got to be really careful about handling this thing when you're out in the woods. That's a noisy thing. You know, they changed it. It used to be a kind of a fabric cover on them. And I think there was odors coming out of that when there was a fabric cover on it. Now, they got kind of a plastic cover on that. They say it's odor-free. But nothing is really odor-free. And not to a whitetail with a nose that's 10,000 times more sensitive than a human nose. So be careful about handling this. But if it's going to make your day pleasant, you know, in the tree stand, well, use them. But do like we do. Start it out before you head to your stand site. Then the other thing, you know, my oldest daughter, she mentioned one day when she's out hunting, and she gets cold, her body's kind of shivery a little bit. She likes to take one of these and stick it end up underneath her cap. That kind of supports it there behind her neck like this. And she says, in minutes, her body feels warm again, just by doing that, putting that up there under her cap and on the back of her neck. So give it a try, see how that works if you're out there feeling kind of shivery. Well, the other thing is, you know, a lot of the clothing and things that we buy nowadays to keep warm, they do a pretty good job. You can be sitting out there 4 or 5 hours and not shiver, not get miserable with the cold, unless it's really windy. And if you're in a tree stand and the tree stand's waving about, you might even be getting tree sick, like being seasick. But anyway, clothing by and large that you can buy nowadays, and some of it's kind of pricey, I know, but if you can afford it, that's great. get it, and you'll be forever glad you did. But that's not the problem. That takes care of not getting cold in a tree stand. But the problem is, you got to walk to and from the tree stand. You got to hike. Let's say you're going to hike a half mile, and that, when you're a tree stand hunter or a stand hunter, you should be thinking a half hour. I mean, half mile. Generally, when you go out in the woods and you go a half mile from any road or forestry trail, logging road in the woods, you're alone. If you hunt 100 yards off that, road runners are going up and down, and people are stopping and they're talking and all that kind of thing. You don't want to. You should go at least, I'm saying, a half mile from any road that people can use with motorized vehicles. So if you want to be a better buck hunter, hunt a half mile from roads like that, and pretty much have the whole area to yourself. Most hunters are a bit fearful of walking that far away from where their vehicle is parked or their camp is located, especially in the darkness in the early morning, like we do it. But so get back to airways. But while you're walking, if you're wearing all this nice clothing that keeps you warm at your stand site, and you start perspiring, that's bad. You can have the most expensive insulated clothing in the world, but if you're soaked with perspiration when you get to your stand site, believe it or not, you'll find out. If you're all wet underneath, it won't be long, 20 minutes, half hour maybe, you're going to be shivering, even with all that clothing on. So you don't want to be. That's a problem. Pretty soon at 9 o'clock, you think I got to get back to camp or back to my vehicle and get warmed up, and you're missing some of the best hunting period of the day. You don't want to do that. So, or if you're moving around a lot because of it, trying to keep warm, that's not good either. You're ruining your chances for taking up a mature whitetail. So anyway, what I do with this ultra warm jacket and bibs that I have, and on warm days I wear wool bibs. They're Woolrich. I bought them years ago, and gee, they just last forever. On relatively warm days, above zero, I'll wear those. They're real quiet and light, easy. But when it's really cold, I get my ultra stuff off. And the bibs, the jacket goes with me every day, no matter what. But that's the thing, even that jacket, if I just wear the jacket and it's open walking to a tree stand in the rugged country where we hunt, I'll be perspiring before you know it. So in the mornings, no matter what it's like out there, it can be 20 below even, I'll stuff that coat into that pack on my hunting stroke. That's one of the times when that pack, that pack sack is really important to hunting, important to buck hunting. So I can stuff it in there. It gets kind of tight with some of the other stuff that are in there, but put that on my shoulders, and then I only have my polypropylene hunting shirt on and my bibs. Now the bibs come up to here. Now my really warm bibs have zippers on the sides of the legs like this, and I'll unzip those, but I'll enclose a couple of the snaps at the bottom down there over my boots, so that those lower bibs completely, they can be flopping all over the place when you're walking, and I hate that, so I snap those down there, and then they stay close to my legs, but full circulation on my legs from these openings on the sides. So, with that, back in the old days, I used to do a lot of logging. I made some money even at logging while I was going to college at the University of Minnesota. I'd go up and help my uncle cut wood pulp. And you could work all day out in the woods with just a shirt, and bibs on, and warm underwear and all that. While you were sawing or chopping branches off trees, trimming them. My uncle would be using a chainsaw, and I'd be going behind him, lopping all those branches off these logs of trees that he found. Never get cold because working hard. And the only time we'd put a coat on then when it was like that. Well, let's stop, make a fire, and have lunch. All right, let's have a coffee break. Get the fire going, and you start getting cold, and put that coat on. Wear the coat, and then at the end of the day, when you get back to the house, we'd have our coats on then as well. But after loading wood, yeah. So you can do that, and deer hunting too. You can go quite a ways out in the woods without having really, really warm jacket on and other clothing, without getting cold while you're moving. You know, usually what I would do, most of my stand sites, I have a warning sign when I'm getting close enough to that stand site for deer beyond that area to see my flashlight. When I get to that point, flashlight goes off and I have to wait a little bit for my eyes to get used to the darkness. There might be a little crack of light out there on the eastern horizon, starting to get a little bit light. It might be moonlight or starlight or whatever. But my eyes will adjust and I can see my trail just fine once that happens. And that's the time when I slip on my coat. I don't button it. I'm warm then at that point. Don't want to button it all up or zip it up using zippers close to your stand side, because a whitetail sure can use that. The same thing, and then snaps and zippers are kind of bad too on your pants. So I always leave them. I don't touch those, on the ultra warm pants until I've been sitting in my stand for a while and it's getting light, and I'm at the point now where I'm fairly certain there's no buck nearby, and then I'll do an ultra slow job of zipping up the stand. You don't want to go zip. I did that last time I did that. Honestly, no lie. I was sitting in a clump of spruce trees, and pretty well hidden in there, and there was a major deer trail out in front of me with great big tracks, 4-inch tracks in it. Big buck been using that trail. And I was sitting in there and I was looking around. I was sure, my legs were starting to get a little cold, so I better zip up. So I started real slow, but I got a little careless and went too fast. I went zip, snorts, right behind me. I jumped up, looked back there, and here was the buck going with his tail up and the horn sticking out past his ears, and bingo, he was gone just like that. You couldn't see him anymore. And oh shoot, the darn zippers. I've missed chances of taking more than one buck because of the sounds made by the zippers I had. So, but anyway, it comes a time when you're at stand site and you think, no, I can do it if I do it really, can go really slow, don't do it fast. You don't want any zip, and you don't want any pop of the snaps either. Leave it unsnapped till it's time to go back to camp or something. But anyway, those are the kind of things us northern standhunters have to put up with, because we have to wear clothing to keep us really warm when we're just sitting there for 4 or 5 hours at a time. So, with that might give you a little more of an edge this year. Keep those things in mind and kind of plan for that. Keep these things in mind, little tips, give you a little better edge. I've taken that big one this year. A lot of you guys, I've talked about, when I was scouting last time, about a couple big bucks that I have a good chance of taking. I found stand sites that were wonderful, natural, cover, nothing changed, all those things. Everybody's wishing me good luck that I get the big buck. Well, thank you for that, and same to you guys. Hope you find stand sites as good as the ones I showed you on that video, and do really well yourself. Now, I told you before, usually I start a season with at least 3 bucks to hunt. Well, I've got 2 for sure, and I've got several other areas where I know there are mature bucks right now. And I didn't scout them too much, but I know those areas really well. So probably I have, in the time I'm in deer camp, I'll hunt at least 4 bucks. If I don't get one soon, by the end of the season, I'll have hunted 4 of them. And generally, in a case like that, I'll get one of them. And sometimes it's opening morning. And I'm thinking I'm going to get one opening morning. And you'll see all about, videotape this whole thing. Not shooting. I don't want any camera people around me when I'm hunting a big buck. But we'll have some kill site photography, and we'll be talking about it, and here's the trail, and I'll show you all these things. But anyway, and there's my stand site, and this is what it'll look like, and so we'll do as much of that as we can. I've done a lot of photography. Years ago in the 80s, you could sit in trees and put doe and estrus lure stand all around, and before long you had bucks to videotape. But it's not that way today. Unless it's somebody's farm buck in an enclosed area, it's pretty hard to actually film somebody actually taking here, or unless you're a guy in this tin shack in the middle of a cactus and this buck is just outside the door and you're going to shoot him with your bow. Those kind of things, the average hunter isn't going to be involved with that kind of situation. So it's I just don't want anybody with a camera trying to capture me actually taking the buck. Not when you're hunting big bucks. Okay, well, that's enough for that. Now, there you go, guys. I don't know if I have another chance to talk to you before hunting season starts. This might be it. But if I think of some other important tip, and I do have time, maybe I'll take a few minutes. You know how a few minutes goes for me like this time. But I'll take a few minutes to film something that I think is important. Okay, with that, thanks a lot, guys. And if you haven't got your new book yet, you could go to my blog. And the first blog you'll see is this picture of this book right there, okay, printed. Go printed on a blank piece of paper, on your printer. That's easy to do. Print it, and then show it to your wife or your mother or your dad or maybe your oldest daughter or something. Boy, this would be a nice Christmas one. And they might say, yeah, Dad, that would be, and maybe that would be a good one for them as well, I know there's a lot of guys looking forward to getting theirs for Christmas this year. They wrote to me about it. So, give them a tip, boy. Tell them this is what I want. And boy, I tell you, that's going to be a Christmas present years from now. Long after I'm gone, that you're going to say, boy, am I ever glad I got this one. So, with that, thanks, guys, for watching, and good luck, and I'll see you soon. Be sure to visit my website. Here's the link. Here you'll find links to my blog posts, my Twitter account, my YouTube account, my Amazon store with links to my ebooks, my son's eBay store, a money saver if you're ordering from Canada or other countries, my website bookstore, and much more.